as we everybody, I want you to say hello and where you're from if you haven't already. Hey, we've got people joining us. We've got Anna from Sweden. That is so cool. I have not been to Sweden. I have not been to Edmonton, Alberta either. I'm a little bit embarrassed to say that I haven't been to Canada yet. There's been so many places I have been though. Angelica, you're joining us from Utah. I've spent lots of time in Utah. Spent plenty of time in New Zealand. Oh, cool spots. Denver. I've been to Denver. I don't think I've been to Arkansas. Calgary, yeah, I want to go there as well. I gather that that's a beautiful spot.
I've been struggling with knowing what to post. If you've been training to what we've done before, I'm actually going to share screen here so that we can kind of keep a little bit on track. But this is a little bit different to what we've done before. We're not going to be talking about social media updates today. We're not going to be talking about even a lot of social media strategy from a social media strategy point of view. We're going to be talking a lot about content today. And I've got a very important message I want to leave you with. And I know this is going to lift so much weight off so many of your shoulders today. If you've been struggling with social media, if you've been struggling with knowing what to post, if you've been listening to trainings that haven't worked for you, man, are you in the right place today? Let's just talk about who this is for. Just in case we've got a few people who are here going, I don't know if this training is really meant for me. Let me just set the scene for a little moment. If you are someone who's been posting consistently and not getting results on social media, you're not getting inquiries, but you're doing what you're told to do and you're posting and you're doing the thing and it doesn't seem to be getting results, maybe you're getting likes, but it's not turning into customers. That could be you right now. You know, maybe you never know what to post. You might be sitting there each week going, I know I have to create social media content, but I just don't know what to do. And you could be this person here. I know lots of these people. Tell me in the chat, by the way, if any of these sound a little familiar. Maybe you feel overwhelmed. Maybe you're in that position where you're going, you know what? I just don't know which way to look. I don't know which way to turn. There's so much information out there and I don't know what to do. And so you do nothing.
You don't have to feel all of them either. If you feel just one of them, just say me in the chat so we know who we're talking to today.
Yeah. Here's a big one for this group. I'm going to call this one out. And Darren and Mike and Greg and I talk about this all the time. But some of you have been paying for ads and not getting results. Some of you have been paying a lot of money for ads and not getting results. And you are feeling defeated, deflated, frustrated, overwhelmed. You're feeling a lot of things right now. And you're like, I am just annoyed at social media in general because now it's costing money and I'm still not getting results. If that's you, hang in there, my friend, because you are in the right place today. And last but not least, maybe you feel like social media is just a lot of effort and you're not producing results and you're sitting here going, I don't have time for this. All right. If you're like me, you don't want to be spending endless amounts of time on social media. You've got a life to live. This business that you're building in the Dream Team is to create a life for you, not the other way around. And so if any of these things feel a little familiar, like I said, you're in the right place. And here's what...
If that's shaping up to be you, basically, if you are looking for leads and sales and you're just not getting those results for any reason, today is going to be so special for you.
Yes, it will. And what we're going to promise you today, this is what you're going to get out of the session, is this. We're going to show you why views and likes are not reliable signs that content is growing your business. We'll show you how to reverse engineer your content from the business result you want. So we're going to turn this whole thing on its head today. And then I'm going to give you, and I've built these especially for the Dream Team groups. So we did a training yesterday publicly, but what I've done today is rebuilt this for you guys today. 7 simple post blueprints that all of you can use immediately. All right. Not only that, I know you're going to be sitting there writing like fury today as I'm going through this training, but just as a gift to say thank you to all of you for showing up. We've also got for all of you a little gift that we're going to give you at the end. So you have to stick around till the end to get this. But we're also going to give you 100 copy and paste templates that you can use straight away. Just to say thanks for being here, for joining us, for being part of this session with us. So if that sounds great, I want you to give a heck yes in the chat. And Greg, we're going to talk about something that I'm a little embarrassed to talk about. Yeah, this one. We're gonna talk about the worst post we ever created. We're gonna start this whole thing off with this. You ready? The worst piece of content we ever created I'm embarrassed to say, got more than 2 million views. So let's just set the scene for a moment. Greg and I were about to speak at a Tupperware convention in Australia. We're in Melbourne. We were told, you guys need to dress up. It was a gala event. It was probably one of the strangest events we've spoken at because it was red carpet and everyone was in ball gowns. And they said, we want you guys to be Greg had to be in a black tux. I had to be in a ball gown. And we've got our microphones on and, we had to go out there and speak at 9:30 at night.
To 10,000 people.
To 10,000 people. Prior to doing this, though, I was in the hotel room just as we're about to leave, got my ball gown on, ready to rock and roll, and my phone starts pinging and it's going crazy. I'm like, Greg, what is going on? And it's Instagram. And I jump over and have a look. And lo and behold, a post I had put up that I had very randomly, very last minute recorded and posted a week ago was now going absolutely viral. My first instinct was, yes, I've cracked the code. I've figured it out. This is what everyone's, works towards. This is what everyone wants. We need to dissect this, figure it out, work out how we did it, because this is what everybody is wanting to do, is get millions of views on a post, right? Except wrong. And I'm going to tell you why today. Here's the post. Can you guys hear it? Still makes me laugh every time. For those of you that don't know what that was all about, in Australia, we have all of the bugs, and that is what we call a huntsman spider. It's about the size of my hand. You can't tell by looking at that video, but they're also one of the most harmless arachnids of all of them, yet they are very scary looking, and I don't have any tolerance or patience for them. And Greg was not home, and the boys decided to help Mum save her life with their weapon of choice, which happened to be the vacuum cleaner. But the moment it moved the tiniest leg, they ran for their lives. So the point of this is...
And there is a point, isn't there, Sam? The point of this is that attention without attention does not build a business. So we got more than 2 million, I think it's over 3 million views on that particular post. We got 0 results in our business. In fact, what we got was a bunch of painful work that just didn't end. So we had all this attention, but it did nothing for us. Now, we have had so many other posts that have had a fraction of those views that have done amazing things for our business. But what we don't want for you is a pile of views and a pile of work for nothing. It sucks when you're in that situation.
So let's just be clear. What we're not saying here is that attention is everything or nothing. It is not a bad thing. We need attention, because if we don't have attention, people don't know we exist. They can't buy from you if they never see you. So yes, we need people to see us. But the distinction is that attention is the beginning of the journey. That it's not the business result. And that's what we really want to talk to you about today, because if attention never becomes a conversation, if it never turns into trust, it never turns into a customer, and it's therefore not finished its job. So we're going to be talking to you about this today. I'm going to be sharing some cool stuff with you, but we also know that there's probably a lot of you in here today that have never done training with these crazy cats from Australia. So if you have never done a training with Greg and I before, I want you to type in the chat, I'm new here, so we know who we've got that's new. We promise to be on our best behavior. If you've been around before, I want you to say, I'm an old hat.
Now, I just want to be clear, because we have met 2,500 of you at convention last year. So if you haven't yet been to a Dream Team convention, let me tell you, they are amazing. You must not miss out when the opportunity comes. And I'm still stitching my clothes back up from having all of that chocolate ripped out of me. That was so
very funny.
Such a good trip.
But look, we travel around the world teaching what we're teaching you today, or, much of what we're teaching you today. We've got a bit of a new training for you today, but here's what I want you to understand about what we teach. We have trained hundreds of thousands of people in the network marketing industry, builders, leaders, corporate teams all over the globe. Much of what we're teaching you today, but here's what I want you to understand about it. Not only have the strategies that we teach moves the needle for entire teams. And the Dream Team is a team that it's moved the needle for over the last year or so. But also, these are things that we try and test and implement in our own business. We would never teach you anything that is just a theory. We would never teach you anything that we don't apply ourselves. And so this is very much, as you can see from this spider story, what we apply ourselves in our own business today. We're also the founders and creators of several different frameworks and blueprints and trainings. One of those is the one that we're going to focus on today, which is the post to purchase framework. And I'm going to share with you a little bit more about that shortly. But the most important thing that I do want to share about who Greg and I are and what we do is we are just like you. We are growing a business that supports the life that we want to create, not build a business that we need to escape from. And that's why this is called the Dream Team, because you are building a dream life, a dream business that supports the life that you want to live. We've got 5 beautiful kids. Many of you have met some of those children. And of course, if you are going to be in the Gold Coast later on this year, we'll have a little Addie and possibly 1 or 2 others with us as well. But we're here to help you build a business that we would be proud to build, which is not a business that takes over your life. And much of the training out there right now, I am very sad to say, is about how to hustle and hustle and hustle and work and work and work, which is not unimportant. You do need to hustle and work to grow a successful business, but you don't want to build something that becomes, that doesn't support the life you want to live. And so we want to start the way we intend to finish, right?
And Sam, just before I go, so I want to cast a little bit of vision for you guys, because one of the things that I see about the Dream Team, one of the things that I love about the Dream Team is that Darren and Mike's Dream Team creates dream teams. It brings out your opportunity and gives you systems and support and all of the things that you need around you so that you can create your own dream team. So Sam, I better jump off because sometimes I get these guys all to myself, but today this training is mostly you. I'm going to jump back in at the end to help with Q&A, but I'll leave you with it for now.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Greg. And I love where Greg left that. I think it's really important to remember that you are supported by an incredible team here. We feel so honored and privileged to be a part of this community. And for those of you, by the way, a big shout out to everyone who's in our Organic Marketing Mastery course that we work with every week. I know we probably don't have lots of them in here because they're off doing a training right now in our community with the incredible Tegan. So if you are an Organic Marketing Mastery member, know that Tegan is off teaching you guys something really cool. So go into your member links right now. And we're also teaching a lot of what we're talking about today in the membership. So don't panic, you're not missing anything if you are an Organic Marketing Mastery member. But I want to just I want to get you all to grab a piece of paper right now. I'm sure you've all got paper in front of you ready to take a ton of notes. And what I want you to do is write down one business result that you want this week. One business result that you want this week. What is that? I'd love to hear it in the chat too, if you can share it in the chat for me. This is Sandy. I want to share with you a quick little story about Sandy because she's one of the many people who has applied what we're teaching you today, this particular framework. And in just one day, from one post, Sandy got the results that many of us dream of getting, which is we want to get inquiries, we want to get sales, we want to get team, right? And for a lot of you, you're thinking, I'm struggling with this. I'm not getting results from this because there's something wrong with me. Today, I want to completely abolish that thought, that lie that you've been telling yourself. I want to tell you something important now. I want you to all hear this. I know for an absolute fact that every one of you has everything you need within you and around you right now to nail this business, to grow this business of your dreams, to align this business with your life and to be successful at social media. How do I know this? Because we have taught now over 500,000 network marketers globally what we're teaching you today, and we have seen it work, not for everyone. Guess who we've seen it work for? Not for the smartest. Not for the people who have got the best skills, not for the people who have been in this business for the longest. The people this works for are the ones that do something with what I'm about to teach them. The ones that implement something, not the ones that walk away with a heap of really great notes and scribbles and drawings. They're the ones that do something with it. So my question to you is this: no matter what, if from today you walk away from this make me a promise right now that whether you decide you want to keep working in our community and learning from Greg and I, whether you decide that you get enough out of this training, whether you even agree with everything I say or not, promise me this. Promise me you're going to implement something today as soon as we finish this training, because that, my friend, is what gets you the growth. Not knowledge, not skill, not power, not even experience. It's what you do with it. So I want to know that you're all going to do something. Okay, I love that. Everyone's making some promises right now. I love it. So let me talk now about the 2 social media strategies going on, because I want to bring to the forefront some false information that many of you have been running by with your social media. And that false information comes back to the spider story, which is that we all believe we need to attribute success to the wrong information. Let me explain what I mean by this. There are 2 social media strategies out there right now being taught, and many of you have learned the wrong strategy. Well, you've learned the right strategy from the wrong people. Now, it's not that there's anything wrong with this strategy, it's that it's not meant for you. So let me explain what I mean by this. The first strategy out there for social media is the influencer strategy. The influencer's job, and we've all heard the word influencer, right? Let's just shine a bit of a light on this role for a second. An influencer's job is to be seen. Influencers get paid for views and exposure. So their success is measured by views, likes, followers, reach, shares, and watch time. An influencer needs people to see their stuff, which means they need to entertain, okay? The end result for them is that they need views. The more views they get, the more sponsors they get, or the more products they get that they get paid to share, the more platforms pay them. This, however, is not the goal you're looking for. Their goal is to get as many people as possible to notice them. And many of you have been following training from influencers and wondering why it's not working. I cannot tell you how many dream teamers I've had come to me and say, Sam, I am not getting customers. Social media is wasting my time. I'm paying for ads, or I'm putting posts out there, or I'm spending endless time that I don't have to get views and eyes on my content, but it's not turning into sales. If any of you said this, give me a little shout out in the chat if this sounds like you right now. And the reason you're not getting it is because you're following the wrong advice. It's not that it's bad advice, it's that it's the wrong advice for you, because you, my friend, are a business builder. And your job is not to simply be seen, it's to build a business, because your success is measured by conversations. It's measured by customers. It's measured by sales, by repeat orders, by team growth, and by referrals. This is a very different outcome. Your goal is to get the right people talking to you, not views, which means you are not an entertainer. You are an influencer, but of few. And I love the quote from my good friend Scott Kramer, who says, it's not about being viral. It's about being vital to a few. It's about the one, not the many. So let's look at these 2 strategies side by side, because this is what's really heartbreaking to me. I have met thousands of business builders who had thought and believed that they were failing, when really they were simply measuring themselves using somebody else's scoreboard, a scoreboard that was never meant for them. So imagine judging a marathon runner by how high they can jump. Of course, they're going to feel like a failure. It's the wrong scoreboard. So an influencer strategy leads through all of these things to popularity. But a business builder strategy goes through all of these things you see here: conversions, customers, relationships, business growth, starting meaningful conversations, and it leads to profitability. So let's do a test here for a second. I want you to tell me in the chat, what are you chasing right now? Do you want to be chasing popularity or profitability? Type it in the chat. I want to make sure that you guys are hearing what I'm saying here, because the big difference is this. An influencer asks, how can I get more people to watch this? I was a little frustrated when I was on a social media training held for this industry about 3 years ago now. And another guest speaker came into this event and taught people how to become viral, how to become an entertainer on social media. And I sat there literally turning over inside. I was clenching up because I was thinking, this is not going to grow the business for these people. These strategies might get more people seeing their stuff, but they're going to end up with a whole heap of spider videos and wonder what's wrong with them. Because what a business builder needs to ask is this: what conversation do I need to have, and what content will naturally start it? And that is what I'm excited to share with you today. So think for a little moment about that spider story. Why do you think it got 2 million views but produced almost no business? The thing is, it was an influencer strategy. It had huge reach, massive engagement, millions of views, but it was the wrong audience. Not one of those people was my ideal target customer. It didn't start any meaningful conversations that led anywhere. It started a lot of very negative, very time-consuming conversations that were a waste of my time and completely pointless. It did not gain any customers, and it did not gain any business growth. Now, if I had looked at the numbers, and what I want you to look at here is the lie that we've been sold, which is that success on social media is measured by views, likes, followers, reach, and popularity. These, my friends, are attention metrics. They are not business growth metrics. Business success for you guys is measured by the following: conversations, customers, sales, team growth, repeat customers, and referrals. Right? You've got a couple of those spider videos as well. I love that. Guys, views may open the door, but these are the outcomes that grow your businesses. So the big shift we want to talk about today is where most people begin when it comes to social media. How many of you sit down and you ask yourself the question, what should I post today? What will I post today? And you feel that overwhelming sense of, I don't know that people want to hear from me. I don't know if I've got what it takes. I don't know if I'm good enough. So let me share with you something that I think is going to take a great big weight off your shoulders, because any framework gives you a formula and a process to follow. And today, I want to be very clear. At the end of the session today, I am absolutely going to give you an opportunity to jump in and join our community where we teach you all of this stuff every week. Every single week inside Organic Marketing Mastery for the Dream Team, we share with you strategies, templates, posts. We tell you what to do. We hand it to you every week. But for those of you that are like, I don't need any of that, I just want to know today what I need to do, Sam, I'm going to give you the framework. I'm going to show you what to do. And more than that, I'm going to give you 7 blueprints you can use straight away. I want you to walk away from this, no matter what, with something you can use. So let's talk about the framework we're going to build on through this session. The first part to this framework is we start, number 1, with the result. What do I need to happen in my business? We don't start with the post. That comes way later. We start with, what do I need to happen in my business? So tell me in the chat, what's your goal right now? What's the one thing that you need to happen in your business this week? What is it? Is it a sale? Is it a referral? Is it a new team member? What is conversations, Regina? I love that. Okay. The next one is, who do I need to talk to? One of the things that Greg will often talk about inside of our Organic Marketing Mastery community is, who is your dream customer? If you don't know who it is very hard for you to show up on social media and get that person's attention. So we need to know who we're talking to. It's critical. And we will talk a little bit about that today, but that is not what today is all about. So we'll cover that off inside of Organic Marketing Mastery. Today, we're going to talk about this part, number 3, which is the conversation. What are they already thinking, feeling, or talking about? That's step 3, which leads to step 4, the part most people start with. And by the way, if you start with step 4, which is the post, you are doing something that our members know I call throwing spaghetti at the wall and waiting to see what sticks. You are randomly showing up. By the way, if you randomly show up on social media, you'll randomly get results. You get a lot of spider results, right? So the 4th step is, what content would naturally start that conversation? And then step 5, the final step here is, what will I do when they respond? And we're going to talk about that one in a few weeks' time. But let's today talk about steps 3 and 4. So where a business builder needs to start is with a different question. Not what should I post today, which is the question many of you have been asking. It's what do I need to happen in my business this week? So I can see you guys are typing this in the chat. By the way, people who interact with me when we're live get rewarded. So I know yesterday, Greg, when we did this publicly, I didn't give any prizes away, but then it was public and it wasn't the dream team. Today it's the dream team. So I want to give some prizes away. I want you to tell me in the chat, what do you need to happen in your business this week? It could be you need some new customers. It could be that you need a business conversation. It might be that you need some Zooms booked. It might be that you need some referrals. What do you need? Let's get clear about this. Because if you don't know what you want, how are you going to create a plan to get it?
Are you expecting me to get all grinchy, Sam? What's the prize I'm giving away?
I want to give some books away.
Of course you do.
I've got one behind me. I didn't even have one in reach on my desk because I gave them away yesterday. So let's give a prize or two away right now, Greg, because I love it when people are interacting.
All right, I'm drawing it.
Go, draw it. You have to say the names though, because I totally butchered the names last week and Darren and my
I'm writing it. Hang on. I'm actually going to take a screenshot and catch a name on the screen. That's what I'm going to do. Are we ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Shot.
Are you doing that just simply because you don't want to have to say the name?
No. I'm going to say the name.
Oh, you're going to say it.
Totally, I'm going to say
I feel so bad last week. You guys were all laughing
that
at me.
goes so fast. We'll draw another one in a minute. I'll get off here. Tommy McFarlane, even though that was an easy name, but that's not fair.
Everyone wants leads. I love it because guess what? They are so easy to get on social media by doing simple little things. And you don't need to pay to get them, by the way. We're going to talk about ads a little bit later on.
And oh, hang on, here's another one. We're ready, and we're going to go.
Oh, you're drawing 2?
Yeah.
All right, go. Come on.
Stop me. I can stop you, though. That's the deal, isn't it? All right, now who have we got this time? So I need to come over to my snipping tool and figure that out. All right, now the next one is Marlet Gazik. So I'm going to write that down. Both of the winners, and I'm going to type them in the chat in just a global with your postal address and your phone number, so we can put it.
You didn't say the names. I didn't hear them.
Tommy McFarlane and Marlet.
So much to get through. Okay, Greg will put it in the chat. All right, so next question. Oh, it's like the Muppets. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with you right now? We like to compare ourselves to, you guys know the Muppets that are in the on the balcony that are always giving each other a really hard time. That's Greg and I. And I said this to Zara, our daughter, the other day, and she went, "Oh no." She goes, "You guys remind me of," who did she compare us to, Greg? You have to try and remember who it was. And it was very funny. It was not those two Muppets. Anyway, you remember who it was. That landed flat. Okay, so next question is that you want to ask yourself. We know what we want, right? You've all just identified a business result you want to get. But the next question is what conversations would naturally lead to that result. So a lot of you said you want leads. So the question is this: what conversations do we need to have to attract leads from our dream customers? So it might be busy parents struggling with health and family wellness. It might be someone wanting more flexible income. It might be a woman over 40 whose skin is changing. It might be someone who's frustrated with not being able to afford to go on the family holiday they want to go on. It could be toxic free living, whatever that might be. So here's the deal. We need to stop starting with the post, which means we need to stop throwing spaghetti at the wall and waiting to see what sticks. Most people that don't succeed on social media don't succeed because they plan forwards. They post, hope someone responds, and then hope it creates a sale. Business builders, this is all of you from today moving forward, are going to plan backwards. And what you're going to do is you're going to think about the business result, the person you're speaking to, the conversation they're already having, what post will start that conversation, and then the next step, which is how will I continue that conversation. And watch this space, we'll be talking to you about that later in the month. So working backwards. First thing is, who do I need to talk to? Now, this session today is not about that. That is a very, very, very important part of this journey. But I will say for everyone who is either inside of our Organic Marketing Mastery community or decides today that they want to keep learning with us and join us. We've got a training in there where it's already there. Greg recorded it a couple of weeks ago, where you can identify without any question who your dream customer is. It's in there, it's ready to roll. We're not going to talk about that today. What we are going to talk about is what conversation are they already having? What are they thinking, feeling, frustrated by, wishing for, or problem trying to solve? Some of you have heard me train before and you know where I'm about to go with this. You need to answer the 2 golden questions. Everything you do on social media should come back to these 2 golden questions. If you're not addressing them in some way, shape, or form with every piece of content you create, that piece of content does not belong on your feed. That's an influencer strategy. A business builder strategy needs to take these 2 questions into account. You know what they are? Do any of you know what I'm about to say? If you've done training with me before, you should know them backwards. Here's what they are. Number 1, what keeps them up at night? This means, what problems in life do they want to solve? What bothers them? What frustrates them? What do they worry about? Notice I did not say, what problems can you solve? I said, what problems are they experiencing? This is not about selling. This is not about solving their problem. It's about resonating with them. So I want you to consider this for a little moment. I know what you guys are experiencing life because I know you back to front. I've got to know you. I have got curious about you. I have invested so much time in getting to know all of you guys. I understand what makes most of you tick, but I don't solve all of those problems for you. So for many of you, for example, I can resonate with being a busy parent who is trying to grow a business to create a life that I want to live with my kids. So I've got more quality present time with my kids. So I can travel with them. I can be a mum with them. I don't solve that problem for you, but I can resonate with you around that problem. I also get what it's like to have teenagers. Anyone, hands up, anyone who's got a teenager, right? Or had a teenager. I get it. Got all of those problems rumbling around in our home right now. I get the challenge that goes with that. However, I'm not going to solve that problem for you, but I can definitely talk to you about it. I can start that conversation because I understand that many of you have got families. You're here because you have a family. So I'm not going to ignore talking about it because I don't sell a solution to your family challenges. Let's connect over those things. So what keeps them up at night? The things that don't relate necessarily to your product or your business opportunity are still just as relevant. So you want to get to know all of these things. The next one is what gets them up in the morning, which means what do they value? What do they care about? What's important to them? What matters to them? What do they aim to do in their life? What are their interests? Now, your interest may be gardening. Now, it's got nothing to do with the business necessarily. It's got nothing to do with social media, but you and I can definitely have a conversation over that. And if I know that my audience are interested in health and wellness, for example, I can have conversations with you over health and wellness and know I'm attracting the right person. What I know is that somebody who is interested in gambling away their health is definitely not my dream customer. And so I'm not going to have those conversations with people. So here are some examples. I know that probably for most of you, the middle example here is the most relevant one, but I want to give you all of them just so you can see where I'm going with this. I just want this to click for you. So examples would be if you said, I want to sell collagen. You might have a collagen product and you want to sell it. The conversations that people might already be having that would be relevant to that product might be, my joints ache, I don't recover from exercise, my skin looks dull, or I hate getting older. For most of you, you want to build your business, okay? And so recruiting is important. So the conversations people might be having might be the cost of living. I need extra income. I want flexibility. School holidays are expensive, or I don't want to take on another job. How many people do we know that are taking on job after job after job just to make ends meet right now? If that's a conversation that your dream customer is having, you want to be in the middle of that conversation. We're going to talk about how to do that. So what post would then naturally start that conversation? And so right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 7 business building post blueprints. Each of these post blueprints has got a formula. I'm going to give you an example. We're going to whiz through them fairly quickly because we don't have oodles of time left. And like I said to you, just as a gift for showing up today, I'm going to give all of you 100 post templates just as a gift from me that you can use at the end of this session. So if you miss anything here, don't panic. But what I will also say is everyone who is inside of our trainings each week, so our trainings are member-only trainings. I'll talk to you about that shortly. Actually, really quickly, just as a quick feeler, does anyone want to know more information about how they can keep learning from Greg and I inside of our trainings each week? If you want to, type social media mastery in the chat and we'll share with you some ideas. We'll share with you guys what we've put together because we have put something special together that we've never offered before for those that might want to know more about it. For those people, we've put together 21 post templates that we're going to give as a special gift today for anyone who does join us that are formulated around this very blueprint we're about to show you, okay? All right, so here they are. Ready? Get the pens ready. Blueprint number 1 is the question blueprint. The question blueprint, the objective is to start conversations. Now, lots of you have heard me talk about engagement posts, but this is the formula we're going to give you today because it's about inviting engagement, not just any engagement. We're specifically inviting engagement that qualifies our audience. So the right question is going to help you grow your business. This is really important to remember. We don't need to get better at selling. We need to get better at asking good questions. So the formula is this. What's one thing about that? And I'll show you what I mean. So don't worry, we'll give you an example. Or who else has noticed? Okay, that's the formula. Here's what the formula looks like. What's the one thing about retirement that scares you? I saw a few of you type in there that retirement was the thing that you knew you had in common, or the thing that kept your audience up at night was worrying about retirement. It's a big deal. So what's one thing about retirement that scares you? And you see how if someone interacts with this particular post, what's going to happen? You are qualifying and attracting somebody if you identify that this is your dream customer who you could potentially do business with. Now, I'm going to be very clear before I give you any more blueprints here. You may not get any responses, but let me pause you for a second because no response doesn't mean no result. Your audience, just because they're not interacting doesn't mean they're not watching. People don't typically interact the first time they see a piece of content. I want you to think about your behavior for a moment. If you're on social media and you're scrolling away, how many of those posts or reels that you scroll past do you typically comment on? I'm going to guess for many of you, very few, if any at all. Now, my next question is this. If you didn't comment, does that mean that none of them got your attention? Very few, says Lena. Not a lot, says Eugenia. Elaine says no. Lena says no. You don't typically do a lot of commenting because the way we behave on social media has changed. But we also know that it doesn't mean they didn't get our attention and they weren't memorable. So I want you to pause for a moment. Remember this. Every blueprint I'm giving you right now, I want you to be prepared for crickets. Crickets chirping, nothing happening, and understand that you are still doing something meaningful. Keep showing up. That's why I wrote my book, Show Up Anyway. It's important because trust is built by showing up. You're not doing it necessarily right now for the people that comment straight away. You're doing it because people are watching you and building trust. And what they're watching for is this. They want to know, has someone else commented? And when they do, what does Lilybeth or Rianne or Carmela or Anne do with that? Do they hunt them down and chase them and hound them and hassle them? Or do they just connect with them and build a relationship and interact like a human being and a friend? If it's safe, I might lean in, but I might not lean in for 5, 8, 10 posts. So know that you may not get a result straight away and you are still doing something good. So be prepared for nothing and know you're still doing something. Celebrate the silence. All right, celebrate the silence. So the next blueprint is the story blueprint. The story blueprint, probably one of my favorites and most important, is that it builds trust. The story blueprint is where we insert ourselves because people are not buying the product or the business opportunity yet until they've bought you. So the formula is this, story formula is what happened? What was the experience you had? What was the realization that came from that experience? And then this is the trick to this particular formula is we want to throw it back to them because this is two-way marketing. It's not one-way broadcasting. We want them to interact with us. So we ask another question. Remember what I said, it's not about being better at selling. It's about being better at asking good questions. So this looks like this. Something like, I remember sitting in the traffic on my way to work one morning and realizing I was spending more time building someone else's dream than my own. It was a confronting thought. Has anyone else had a moment like that? Can you guys see where this goes? Can you see how this works? This is now not you telling them what they need to do. This is you bringing them into your world and sharing part of your journey. Okay. Blueprint number 3, the curiosity blueprint. This one is about not giving the farm away. It's about creating an information gap that makes the right people want to know more. Because when you leave a question unanswered or a sentence half said, the brain has to finish it. I have seen so many very, very, very clever examples of this where it has created massive growth for people. So here's the formula. The biggest mistake, or most people don't realize, or what if? What that looks like is something like this. The biggest mistake people make when looking for another income isn't choosing the wrong opportunity. You notice I didn't finish the sentence. There is another part to the sentence, but we're not going to finish it. We're just going to leave it there, unsaid. It starts another conversation. Most people don't realize that people join people long before they join businesses. Remember, guys, this is not about getting interaction and response immediately. You are seeding and building trust. So some of these blueprints aren't necessarily going to get a response straight away. Celebrate the silence because you're building trust. Just because people aren't interacting doesn't mean they're not watching. Blueprint number 4 is the myth blueprint. The myth blueprint is very important, especially for all of you, because for many of you, you need to change assumptions. For people to do business with the dream team or to purchase the products that you have, many people have to change the beliefs they have. And so this is partly your job. Social media is a great way to do that. So the formula is, I used to think, or everyone says, but I found. So here's what that looks like. I used to think successful network marketers were just naturally confident until I realized they simply had more conversations than I had. Challenging assumptions. Again, there's so many ways to do this, and I'm going to give you guys some templates you can use. For those of you, like I said, that jump in and join us, we've also got a special little bonus giveaway where I'm going to give you 3 templates for each of these that are very specific to each blueprint. Blueprint number 5 is the problem blueprint. The problem blueprint taps into that golden question, and it helps you find people with the problem that you solve, because people buy solutions, not products. So we're attracting people to us with these carefully worded questions. So the formula here is, what's the hardest part about? This is the formula. That looks like something like this. What's the hardest part about staying consistent with your health? Or what's the hardest part about getting ahead financially at the moment? We're starting the conversation. Making sense, guys? Give me a little yup in the chat if this is all making sense right now. I want to make sure that we're on the same page. Getting lots of really cool comments coming in here. I'm loving that. Okay, yes, lots of yeses. All right. Blueprint number 6 is the opinion blueprint. I love this one because people can't help but give their opinion. If you ask the right question, this one can be very powerful. But I'm also going to be very clear about something here. You've got to be careful because this one can also alienate people. This one is about inviting the discussion because people love sharing their perspective, but you can very easily fall into a trap here if you don't do something I call fence setting. So if you're going to invite discussion, be very careful not to be too controversial. And if you are going to be controversial, don't be the car crash. The car crash is the person that everyone wants to watch because they're like, whoa, you did not just say that on social media, but they're not going to go running on in there and being part of that conversation because it's not safe. You also need to make sure that when you do this particular blueprint, that you make sure that people feel safe to give their opinion or their perspective no matter what it is. All right, there's no only these people welcome here in this situation. Opinion posts should invite conversations, not arguments. That's very important. So share your perspective without everyone needing to agree. So the formula is, I think, anyone else? Or agree or disagree. Here's what that could look like. I think more people want flexibility than another pay rise. Anyone else? Or agree or disagree. The best business fits around your life, not the other way around. So you can see how these are conversation starters. Yeah, right, Brian, grab the popcorn and read the comments. We've all seen posts like that, but don't be the author of a post like that. It might get you attention, but it's another spider post, okay? It won't attract the right people. All right, are you guys ready? We're going to give you blueprint number 7. How are we going for time? Okay, cool. We're doing well. Blueprint number 7 is the vision blueprint. I used to call this one the future blueprint, but I changed it because this one is about visualization. It's about helping people picture the transformation they want. Now, anyone that's done learning with me before is inside of our membership knows I love talking about the psychology of humans and the way our subconscious works. This strategy is very powerful because what it does is without people consciously thinking about it, you are getting them to think about something you want them to think about. I want you to consider this for a moment. If I came to you and I said, I want you to put yourself in a position before you were in this business. If I came to you and I said, would you like to join the dream team? Before even thinking about it, your response was probably no. And the reason it was no was because I gave you a closed-ended question that required an answer that was somewhat confrontational. And for most of us, we've got a little aversion to questions like that. But if I reformulated that question ever so slightly, remember it's about asking better questions. If I had changed it to, have you ever thought about doing a business like what I'm doing over here? What happens? Your answer still may be, oh, no, I couldn't. But the brain subconsciously has just been told to think something. So you're now going, well, I hadn't thought about it, but now I am thinking about it, even before you consciously consider it. The amount of people that would walk away from a conversation like that and then start actually thinking about, have I ever actually thought about having a business like Anjana or Gift or Kruti or Femi or Wilma? And suddenly they come back and go, actually, can you tell me more about it? Because you got me thinking. So that's what this one is about. It's about helping people picture the transformation that they want, which you know they want because you've identified who they are and what they're thinking about. So the formula for this one looks like this. What would life look like if, or picture this? You're instructing them to picture this. What are they going to do the second they see a post that says picture this? The subconsciously, before they've even thought about it, they're picturing whatever it is you tell them to picture. So this looks like this. What would life look like if you were confidently wearing that outfit? This sort of tailors towards, I guess, the person in the health arena. Or picture this, you finish the week feeling energized instead of burnt out. What's the brain doing? It's thinking about it. And then it goes to, why would they bring that up? Why would they say that? Do they know how to do that? So, I can't believe I didn't fix this typo. Greg, please make sure I fix this typo. I saw it yesterday and I still haven't fixed it. Which blueprint should you choose? Should. It still says the same thing. We could leave the L out and it still works. Muppets.
Yeah, typo Muppet.
Right. So which blueprint should you choose? Start conversations, use the question blueprint. If you want to build trust, use the story blueprint. If you want to create curiosity, use the curiosity blueprint. Challenge assumptions, use the myth blueprint. If you want to find people with the problem you solve, use the problem blueprint. If you want to invite discussion, use the opinion blueprint. And if you want to help people picture the transformation, use the vision blueprint. Do you notice something here though, guys? Every blueprint starts with conversations, not sales. The sales come later. If we start focusing on asking better questions, the sales will naturally follow. So before you hit publish on the next post you create, ask yourself these questions. What business result do I need? Who am I trying to reach? Which conversations will I start? And where do I want this conversation to go next? Now, I said to you at the start today that Greg and I have worked with hundreds of thousands of distributors all over the globe. And here's the thing that I know. Most people don't fail because they don't care. And most people don't fail because they don't have what it takes. It's because knowing the blueprints is not the same as using them consistently. Most people don't need more ideas. They need help choosing the right idea, adapting it to their voice, and continuing to use the process even when life gets busy. Because remember what I said to you before, I don't want you spending more time on social media. I want you spending less and getting better results. And so the obvious question for many of you is, well, okay, you've now got 7 blueprints. I've handed them to you. You've got them. The question is, will you actually use them this week? Because knowledge isn't power, it's only potential power, and knowledge never built a business. Most of you have got all the knowledge you need right now to build a multi-million-dollar business. So why haven't you? It's because implementation is what you need right now. And this is where I want to extend an invitation to all of you to do social media with us. We're going to do a Q&A in a little moment. We're going to answer some questions and give away a few more prizes. So hang out if you would like to be a part of that. And I'm going to be very clear. I know that our courses are not for everybody. I get that. And I'm not here to sell to the wrong people. But if you're sitting there going, this is awesome, I need more of this, I understand this, I can do this, but I need to implement it. Every week, I just want Sam to tell me what to do. Well, I love telling people what to do. I would love to help you with that. And so I would love to extend an invitation for you to join us. I saw lots of you said earlier that you want to know more about social media mastery. So I want to be clear about something. Our membership inside of Organic Marketing Mastery is built for the dream team. It is not for everyone. It is for those people who can commit to implementing. But I'm also going to be clear, this is not about doing lots. It's about little tiny pieces. So if you can allocate, give me a little yes in the chat if you can find 1 hour a week to spend on your social media with me. If you can find 1 hour a week, then this course is for you. If you can't, then hang out, do the Q&A with me. I'm going to give you guys a gift at the end, but please don't sign up. Can I be really clear about that? So, membership's not for everyone. There's no shortage right now of social media information. Information is not the problem anymore. The problem is knowing what to ignore. Can I just repeat that? The problem is not the information. The problem is what to ignore. Every week, Greg, Tegan, the team and I filter that information. We've already tested it. We've already simplified it. So you don't need to waste hours trying to figure out what we already know. So I'm going to play a very quick little video from 2 human beings that I think you guys might actually recognize. And then I'm going to share with you something very special that we put together just for today. You guys haven't seen this before because we haven't offered this before, but I've got something very special I want to share with you in a little moment. But let me just really quickly play a little video from some special friends of mine.
For those of you that are at a point in your business where you want to take it to the next level, then you can plug into this brand new program that
Sam, we can't hear you. Hi everyone, Sam's going to be back here in just a second. She's sorting out a little tech thing. You've muted yourself, my dear.
Yeah, I know.
you've got access to into this brand new program that Sam and my Greg have launched. Now, you can subscribe at any time. You can, of course, cancel your subscription at any time. But the beauty of this is that by being part of this program, now, not only do you get live weekly masterminds where you bring your questions and get answers, you've got access to a support group in this website, in My DT Online, where you can ask questions on a daily basis and get answers. And you get tapped into all of their additional content. And these guys love coming out and doing these gold nugget sessions. And they love this stuff. They live and breathe this kind of stuff. And so this is how you stay up to date on what's going on in social media and what's changing. And
Plus you get access to their whole course.
Yes,
So you've got, so as long as you're paying that monthly fee, you've got access to the whole course that they've created specifically for the Dream Team.
Mhm. So I think this is your opportunity to really decide if you need more help or if you're ready to take things to the next level. And if you just find that things just aren't working, or maybe that you just need a little bit more engagement, that's exactly what this is for.
I think anyone can create content and put content on the internet, and social media, but it's learning how to put good content.
Yes, that's so important.
That's the difference.
So if you're struggling to find your own reason, Sam and Greg can help you with that. So if you need that help, it's now available. And I'm super excited about this because we've got experts actually doing it for us.
Yeah,
So,
and to be honest, we've already had the program in a couple ones. We've already seen the results that other people are getting, even just in Mike and I's own personal feeds, because we follow so many people in the Dream Team. We've seen the quality go up of all of their posts, right? Now even I'm stopped going, oh wow, that's a great post, a great post. So
true. Since we brought Sam and Greg into the community, buyers have increased. That means our lead conversions
and
are improving.
Sales overall, we can see our sales in a magic and they've increased.
Yeah. So well done, Sam and Greg.
So guys, we want to introduce to you guys the Organic Marketing Mastery course, which we're about to rename to Social Media Mastery. And Mike and Darren, Greg and I were having a little bit of a conversation last week, and we realized that Organic Marketing Mastery actually doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense, because while we know what that means, you don't necessarily know what that means. So here's what they said we're going to call it. We're going to call it Rank Up with No Ads. That's simple. Rank up with no ads, because all of you want to rank up, right, in your Dream Team business. And most of you are struggling with adverts right now.
Now, Sam, I do want to say something really important here, because I love ads. We spend truckloads of money on ads, spend heaps and heaps and heaps of money on ads. Ads are great. But if you can't get people to click on your stuff for free, you are wasting money on ads, because they're not going to click on it either. You need to know how to get people to take the steps, and that's what it's all about.
You can pay people, you can pay Facebook or Instagram to deliver your posts, but you can't pay people to click on them. What we taught you today and what we're going to continue to teach you every single week inside of Social Media Mastery is how to get their attention and get them to do something with it, because we're not influencers. You are, but we don't want views. We want conversions. So Social Media Mastery is for you in this business. It is built for Dream Team. It is super specific to your business and your products and what you guys do. And we're going to show you exactly how to get big results in less time. I don't want social media to take over your world. We're going to show you how to identify your dream customer, stop wasting time talking to the people who never buy. And we're going to show you how to craft irresistible posts so people start asking you how you can help them. So what does it look like? Well, first of all, we do all the hard work for you. We show up every week in a live training, which Tegan, our amazing Tegan, who's in the background here, has just done for our members on the inside. We do this with you every week. We're literally handing you the content. But I've got something to share with you that's brand new that most of you haven't heard me talk about before, and it's this. We've got some extra special bonuses we're going to be giving that we've never done before, and I've created just for this. The first one is a 30-day momentum roadmap. Anyone inside of the course is going to receive this. And what it looks like is I'm not just going to hand you content every week, because a lot of you are sitting there going, fine, Sam can tell me, how to do social media. We've got all this amazing learning from Darren and Mike. But when I sit down to go to work my business on Monday, what's the first thing I should do? Then on Tuesday, what should I do? Then on Wednesday, what should I do? So what we've built for you guys is a 30-day momentum roadmap. Every day, it's going to give you a simple thing you can do that's going to build you momentum in your business that compounds every day. It's a simple action plan. It's designed for you to do quickly. It's not about 5 hours later, I've done my day's work. It's about 10 minutes. What can you do in 10 minutes that will build you momentum? And we're going to show you exactly what to focus on every day of the week for your first 30 days in our course to get you quick wins. The second bonus we're going to give brand new people today. So if you're signing up, by the way, I want you to tell me in the chat I'm all in, because we need to write your name down if you're joining us today to make sure we get you the invitation to this. This is going to be a massive game changer. So what I'm going to do is we're going to be running for our new people an AI Business Builder workshop. This is where I'm going to show you how to use AI to create authentic content that starts conversations in alignment with those blueprints I just showed you, but specific for you and your business and your dream customer. This will be about you. This will be customizing it. I'm going to help you create an incredible system inside of AI that is going to change your world. And I'm going to share with you a couple of little secret things I do personally in my life too, that even Greg was saying to me the other day, I can't believe that you've figured this out. He goes, people need to know about this. So I'm going to share with you guys what I've built, I've created from scratch, and I'm going to hand it to you. I'm going to show you how to do it.
That being said, now I am impressed, and I am hard to impress. Like, let's be fair, when it comes to tech stuff, it takes some pretty cool tech to blow me away. But man, what you've done there is so cool.
So I'm going to be doing that with you guys. The other thing that I'm giving you is a Business Builder template pack, and that is going to be 21 templates based around the blueprints I just handed you. So I'm going to give you 3 templates you can use for each of the 7 blueprints we just talked about that you can copy and paste immediately. I'm going to show you how to customize them for yourself, and we're going to hand that to all of our new members that join us today. So they're 3 really powerful, really awesome bonuses that you guys get. So just to recap, what do you get inside of what is currently called Organic Marketing Mastery? So that's what you're looking for when you go into the DT Online store. You're going to get a weekly live training with me. Remember, I said all you need to allocate is an hour of time a week. So if you said yes, you're golden, right? We've also got over 42 pre-recorded modules that you guys get access to, but I'm not going to get you to jump in and watch those right now because we're going to be re-recording them live with you guys over time. So all you need to allocate, you can go in and watch those modules at any time if you want to. There's one on how to identify your dream customer. We've got how to build your personal brand, all of that fun stuff. But if you just want to join me each week for your live training, that's all you need to do. So this is about ranking up with no paid ads. How much does it cost? It's only $99 a month with no lock-in, and you can join through the DT Online store. The beauty of this is if you are currently running ads and you are not getting results, I want you to consider taking some of that budget right now. This is what Darren and Mike have told you guys to do. Take some of that budget, and instead of spending on ads that aren't working, let's just stop that, because there's a reason it's not working. Let's come back a couple of steps. Invest in your learning, invest in this training instead, and start creating content that your dream customer can't ignore. Because here's what you need to know about running paid ads on social media. They are powerful. They do have a place, but they won't work until your free posts, your organic posts, the ones that are not paid for, start performing. Here's the other thing you need to know. Meta, so Facebook and Instagram, have made it abundantly clear that when you create good content that you're not paying for, the ads you are paying for will do better. They're basically saying, create content your audience cares about and wants to see, and we'll reward you over here when you pay for ads. So if you want to get better conversions with your ads, start with the free stuff. Let us help you with that. And if you're not getting results for ads right now, there's no point paying to continue getting that same result. I also don't want you focusing on someone else's recipe if it's not working for you. So we're going to show you how to create one that does. And it's only going to cost you $99 a month to get you the results you want. Get community, get support with Greg and I live every single week. We're doing that training and we're literally handing you the post. So I want you to imagine this for a moment. Imagine next Tuesday, instead of staring at Facebook and wondering, what am I going to post? Imagine you open up your course with Greg and I. You do the training. It's sitting there. You've got the recording if you need to watch the recording, or you can join us live. I hand you the templates. I hand you the roadmap. You know exactly what to do to get results. And within 30 minutes, your marketing for the week is done. Imagine that scenario. What would that be worth to you? So there's one more opportunity I'm just going to put out there because you only get one chance at this. When you sign up, for those of you that are joining, and the name of the training, Janet, is Organic Marketing Mastery, but we're about to change it. Right now, if you go to the DT online store, it's called Organic Marketing Mastery. You need to go in there, click on that, sign up, and you'll get one chance and one chance only to do what's up on the screen right now. You can do the monthly, and if you're not sure if this is the right fit for you, do the monthly, that's fine. Just the $99 a month, and there's no lock-in period. Like Darren and Mike said, you can cancel anytime. But if you understand what we all understand, which is that business is a journey, and you need to commit to the highs, the lows, the ups and downs, and if you know that Greg and I are right for you and you're like, I'm all in, you can choose, you'll get one choice only to choose to do 12 months. Now, if you do that, we want to reward you because you're investing in you and your business in this moment. And so we're giving you 2 months for free if you do that. So you only pay for 10, but you get 12. And Greg and I will give you a one-on-one coaching call to set you off and get you a quick win.
Now, Sam, I just want to check in on that because so many people say, yeah, but I want you to look at my stuff. I want you to check out my page. I want you to look at my thing. And that is super powerful. Now, we have done this so many times.
Yeah.
I have lost count of the number of page reviews. And what fascinates me is oftentimes it's not an array of mistakes. It's one thing a person is stuck on or one little area. And if you can unlock a person in one little area and get them going. So I love doing those one-on-one coaching calls. And of course, we let you pick which one of us you want for those calls. So
no, you can pick, you can choose. Do you want Greg or do you want Sam?
One way. Not even a choice.
Please, you know. Okay, so really quickly, I want to just tap into a couple of things that might be going on in your minds right now, because these are things that I would naturally think before doing any training. The first one is this. You might be thinking to yourself, I can't afford it. Okay, now if that's where you're at, if you are currently paying for ads and they're not getting you results, guys, the cost of staying where you are right now is often far greater than the cost of moving forward. This is the cost of less than a coffee a day. So take some of that ad budget, put it into this, start getting results, then you can bring it back into the ad budget again later on. The other thing I want to be very clear about is the promise that Greg and I make, which is we want you to get a quick win so that this is not a cost to you. This is an investment that compounds. The reason we've provided you with a 30-day roadmap and weekly training is because we don't want this to be a cost. This is about you turning $99 into $399 and $599 because you're growing your business. So we're going to help you do that. We don't want this to be a cost. We want it to be an investment that compounds. If it's not making you money within a few months, you're not necessarily implementing what we need to implement. So we need to get you doing that work. So I don't want you doing it just to gain knowledge. I want you to do it to implement. Remember what I said before. Now, some of you are also thinking, I've already answered this one. I don't have time. It's not about finding more time. It's about making better use of the time that you have. So all you need to find is 1 hour a week to invest in your business. The other thing you might be thinking right now is, will this work for my business? Well, the great news is this. First, this is built for Dream Team. We get you guys. We've made it for you. It's very specific to your business. But remember that it actually doesn't matter what your business is, because products, businesses change, but human decision-making, the process of that, the psychology of that, the subconscious brain doesn't change. People don't buy products, they buy solutions from people they trust, and that's what we're helping you lead. The other thing that you might be thinking is, hey, I'm not creative or I'm not tech savvy. And that's fine, because I don't need you to be more creative. I need you to show up exactly as you are. And I can guarantee that if you do, you will get results, because I'm going to hand you a simple system. You do not have to wake up naturally creative or inspired to get results. Creativity comes when we take that pressure off and we let you be you. And that's what I want you to do. The last thing you might be thinking right now is, well, that's fine, but I bought courses before, and I bet you have. I have too, and lots of them I never completed. Well, that's why I said to you, I want you to implement, because information doesn't create results, implementation does. And as Darren and Mike have said, they have seen many people already getting massive results in just a very short space of time, because we keep you accountable outside of the training.
Yeah, Sam, I want to talk about that for a second, but that's one of the things that I love to do. There's a couple of calls that I run on Zoom, face to face, every month, and you guys are welcome to come along. In fact, I have a Making the Most of Your Membership Zoom available just under 2 days from now. So there's one of those there, but I love to chat to people and see specifically what's going on. Oftentimes where you're stuck is not where you think you're stuck. There is actually a different problem that's holding you up. And so I'm able to direct you to the resources, the help, or whatever it is that you need to do to get unstuck. It's also fascinating to see people in a group because people prick their ears up and go, hey, that person's problem is exactly what's going on for me. I'm so glad they asked the question because I wouldn't have thought to ask, but I needed to hear that. So we also provide that Zoom support as well. So if you're the kind of person who feels like, I don't do a pre-recorded course, but
want to arm you with that knowledge that I also want you to implement. So if you don't know where to start, we're gifting you a 30-day roadmap. If you don't have time, you've got the AI workshop I'm gifting to then take 30 minutes to do what I told you to do. That's it. So that's where your 1 hour comes out, okay? Very important. The link is also here, I think, as well, Greg. I can see 12 months. Can you type in, just put it in the chat, just say I'm doing 12 months. I want to know if we've got anyone who's, I do have a couple of people here as well who have been asking again about the time of the training each week. So I want to be clear, she can talk to her husband first. So here's the deal. We're going to hold these bonuses for the next 2 hours. Is that fair, Greg?
it is.
So the bonuses we've just offered will hold for 2 hours. So if you need to go check with somebody, if you need to check anything, if you're sitting there right now and you're thinking, should I or shouldn't I want you to remember this. If you stay exactly where you are, what's it going to cost you?